Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm happy to join this debate to discuss and debate the notification of Her Excellency the President with respect to Mr. Alistair as Guevara, as Commissioner of Police. Mr. Speaker, sometimes I wonder if people have very short memories. Because when I listen to it, I remember, oh, it was very nice and kind and smiling from Maruka Lopino. I wonder he forgot he was there in that government for 5 years. I wonder he's not recently vacated the Office of National Security. And therefore all the advice and the hopes and dreams, where were they for all those years he was sitting in that government? Where were they? National Security, but you were on the bench, you were part of the government, you're all in it together, you know. It's one shebang, all of you cannot separate from each other. For the 9 years you allowed it, sir. So whilst I can hear some people call it bleeding heart words today, where was the bleeding heart over the years when so many persons were murdered in our country? So many home invasions, extortion, crime rose to astronomical levels. So I'll leave the minister in dreamland, hoping he will get out of there soon and admit they did nothing in the fight against it. Nothing. So today I think is a very important day for all of us for more than one reason to debate this notification. The appointment here that we are discussing marks a very significant day for everybody in our republic. Because why? Crime affects every single person, everybody. We begin today discussing finding the most suitable and proper person to whom we will give responsibility for the safety and security of our citizens. As your Prime Minister, I'm fully aware that making this decision correctly is one of the principal reasons that you elected us into office, because you were concerned about crime. And whoever is the Commissioner of Police will be the person in charge mainly for helping us deal with crime in the country. The people of the country spoke loudly, I say again, on April 28th. They expressed their dissatisfaction that people who have held the offices of national security, and some as Commissioner of Police during these 9 years, they failed to deliver what everybody is constitutionally entitled to, and that is what? Safety and security. They failed to keep our citizens safe and secure. They failed to effectively and efficiently manage the organization entrusted with the duty to keep our citizens safe. Mr. Speaker, you may or may not know that the last government spent more than $66 billion on national security. $66 billion. During that time, our country, our citizens, as I say again, everyone was more unsafe than at any other time in our history.
Mr. Speaker, 48-1. By the same rule.
Which aspect of 48-1 are you on, member?
Mr. Speaker, the same aspect that you raised with the Chief Whip, relevance.
If you look at 48-1, it's a compendious standing order. Identify which part of the standing order it is offending. If you tell me that, then perhaps...
Mr. Speaker, the standing order refers to relevance.
Exactly. So you're only on the basis of relevance.
Mr. Speaker, can I ask my friend from Diego Martin Central whether he's saying the member for Aruca Lopino is irrelevant?
Let us calm down, please. Let us move forward with grace, dignity, and calm on both sides. And let us not invoke the standing orders where they don't apply. Relevance is a contextual exercise. We all know that. You are entitled to lay a foundation, or as we say in cricketing terms, some of us may or may not be aware, you are entitled to take a run-up before you deliver your ball. A short one at that. So whatever relevance, if you are bordering on irrelevancy, it may be tolerated for a short while, but only for the purpose of laying the relevant foundation. So please, let us not invoke standing orders where they simply the invocation simply doesn't arise. We're wasting time. The baseline premise of all is that parliamentary time is precious. So let's move on, please. Prime Minister, you can move on, but please keep it short.
Thank you again, Mr. Speaker. And if you cannot see why this is relevant, that is why you are now sitting on that side and we are on this side. You cannot come and tell me it is irrelevant to talk about how much money was spent. In a context where we are now at an all-time high with crime, in a context where we are now attempting to seek the best person to deal with the crime. So it wasn't just about money. It wasn't just about the $66 billion you spent and failed to address the crime. So I'll take your guidance, Mr. Speaker. And I say again, if you don't know the relevance of what we are speaking about, you deserve to be perpetually in opposition. So, $66 billion. Everybody was unsafe. And so in 2016, I want to show you the pattern to see how the crime. Remember when we said when the UNC is in office, the crime always goes down.
Point of order.
Member is on his legs.
Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, 48(1) indicates the member shall confine his observations to the subject under discussion, which is the notification from the President. And it is not an opportunity for the member to go into a wide-ranging speech on what they did about crime, what we did about crime, and so on. It's a notification from the President.
As I have said before, relevance is a contextual exercise. Anyone knows that. I see the member for Port of Spain South smiling gleefully. But relevance is a contextual exercise. You are entitled to set the stage for an argument you may wish to make and set the context in which you are saying it. The member has set out the context as to why the expenditure is relevant. I have ruled that a short run-up is to be given before that ball is delivered. This is not going to be a Michael Holding run-up. You can trust me on that. As graceful as it may sound and look, it is not going to be a Michael Holding run-up. Rather, it's going to be a very short run-up of a spinner's run-up. Okay? So the leeway afforded is a very short leeway. So I'm afraid that the over-reliance on, and perhaps sometimes sterile reliance on relevance may seem to be misplaced and or misguided in this instance. So again, let us continue briefly on that point.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. So we are here to consider Mr. Alistair Guevara, whether we should agree to the notification to appoint him as the Commissioner of Police. But it's very important that we understand that the skills and the techniques that are to be utilized to keep us safe and secure, to keep our citizens safe and secure, it's not just about money, because the last government spent all the money, $66 billion. And you know what happened? I tell you, Mr. Speaker, when the UNC is in government, the crime always goes down. When the PNM is in government, the crime always goes up. Remember
Point
that.
of order, Mr. Speaker.
And so our duty
Point of order,
is to bring crime down. And that is why
Members
we
on
are
his
before.
legs.
This can't go on for the whole evening. You had your turn for 10 years and you failed.
Come on, let's give up for this.
I can't speak above the noise, Mr. Speaker.
I fully understand. Can you
Okay.
go on now?
Yes, I did not use the word relevance in my point of order. I used the precise wording of the standing order, which is,
Can we allow the member to speak and make his point, please?
48.1. The member must confine his or her observations to the subject under discussion. The subject under discussion is the notification. I never said relevance. The member is not confining, the Honorable Prime Minister is not confining her statements to the notification.
Lest we create some sort of doubt to the members of the public looking on. This is what the standing order says, and if you all permit me, I can read from it. Subject to these standing orders, debate on any motion, bill, or amendment shall be relevant to such motion, bill, or amendment, and a member shall confine his observations to the subject under discussion. As I have been at pains to point out before, the relevance and or the subject matter is all contextual. It is all the second part of it. Confine his answers to the subject under discussion. Cannot be divorced from the relevant part of it. You can't take relevance and put it in a glass jar in isolation. It has to be contextual. This is a very simple concept to understand. It must be contextual. So I have ruled 3 times that a short amount of leeway is to be permitted to lay a foundation. The member for Port of Spain South is a legendary cross-examiner. He doesn't rush in and ask a question, but rather he lays a foundation before you get to the final question. So what you do, you lay an appropriate foundation. What I'm allowing, pursuant to the standing order, is a short time to set the contextual foundation. So move on, please.
Thank you very much, sir, Mr. Speaker. So here we are, dealing with this notification from Her Excellency. And I'm saying unless we put the right person in the right place, we will continue to fail as they failed for the last 9 years. In the last 9 years, their Prime Minister, their second Prime Minister, their Minister of National Security, all of them, they transformed our country from a paradise into a country where people were turned into victims. 9 years, parents lived in fear all over this country, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker,
Here it is.
Mr. Speaker, on a point of order,
I have not
48-1,
spoken for
it is a
5 minutes.
Michael Holding run-up.
I am going to ask the Honourable Prime Minister to move on quickly to the delivery strike.
You know, I am guided by the ruling of the Honourable Speaker. I have already moved on from the $66 billion, in case you all were not listening. And I've already moved on from that, and I went on to where we are today. If we fail to put the right office holder to fight crime. So we were all caught up in this place where crime had just become a runaway exercise. And all of this occurred under the same guys who now talk about relevance and standing order. Not understanding that relevance is. what do you do to keep your citizens secure? And that is what we are about. That is what we are about. Everyone has to be treated equally. The member made a very strange statement about some people above the law, not above, and no one is above the law, and I remember. No one, not under this government. No one is above the law. But I want to take us back. In this very exercise, over the last 9 years, what transpired in this chamber when we were debating motions of this nature. And that is relevant
Mr.
because this
Speaker,
government
point of
intends to
order.
deal with this
Point of order.
notification in a totally different way from yours. Oh, this can't go on all evening.
48.1, what happened in the past is not relevant to this notification.
No.
At the risk of sounding perfunctory, and that objection needs only to be repeated to be dismissed. Move on.
Thank you. So I come back that everyone has to be treated equally, contrary to what the Honourable Member for Arouca Lopino has said. And the process which has produced this nomination today has been the product of PNM's manipulation and perversion for the last 9 years. This government, we will not so subvert the law with respect to this notification for the Commissioner of Police. They always ensured, and I will give you the example, is time after time, every time a notification was brought, member is now telling us about, oh, we'll support it, all is well and good, very nice, sweet words. When every time a notification came here, what did they do? They take the top from the list and they put it on the bottom. The Prime Minister ran to Presidents, grab the merit list. That has to be, grab the merit list. And so public confidence really has fallen to an all-time low in the TTPS. And of course, into what happens in this. I remember very early, Mr.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
This is an abuse. Can I hear you on what point of order?
Yes, sir. Same point of order. I realize the member has a prepared speech, but her prepared speech is not relevant.
As I've said before, and I've ruled consistently, let us move on, please. Time constraints.
Those on the other side, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I understand their whole aim is to frustrate us on this side. Yes. I will not get frustrated. I will not. Whether you jump up 10 times, 15 times, or 30 times, I will not become frustrated because the whole country became frustrated with you and ran you out of office. And therefore, on every occasion that government had the opportunity to deal with a notification or to deal with putting people into office, they have attempted to subvert it. In 2015, the case of Haridad Maraj, I know it well because I was one of the lawyers. When that government attempted to subvert the very law that gives rise to putting a commissioner of police in place by inserting the then Minister of National Security into the process. So that is why we are here today with this notification, that this government will follow the law and not attempt to subvert the law when it comes to putting a commissioner of police in place. Haridad Maraj, remember the name Lucas, remember the name Stephen Williams, remember all the names on the list sent from the Police Service Commission to Her Excellency and to us. You moved every one of them. You moved every one and never followed the law. Never followed the law to appoint a commissioner of police. This government will do differently. We will do it differently. We will follow the law. When they asked us, when public asked me, what will you do? I said, when we get the notification, what will we do? We will follow the law. And that is what we will do today. So we came back to Stephen Williams in 2008, 2018. They subverted the law. They went down the bottom of the list.
Mr. Speaker, 48.1.
Honorable Prime Minister, can I, for the sake of moving on, ask you just to skip over that, because we've made that point, and it's in the record. Can I just ask you to move on from that, please? Just to confine to the subversion of the merit list and the consideration of this one. So if we could just skip off about that and move on.
Okay, I'm guided again. I'm a very obedient person in this chamber to the rulings of the Speaker, so I'm guided. I'm very much guided. But I again say, the situation we are in this country because of crime has been every single time that government has subverted the process that we are now attempting to follow and to put a commission in place. David Duchan, Harold Phillip, don't forget Gary Griffith, when you went from the top of the list to the bottom of the list. So don't come with platitudes today to
Mr.
tell us.
Speaker,
I am responding to you
48-1.
with your platitudes.
This one, I think, is misconceived. In my respectful view, Aruka Lupino, I think this objection is misconceived.
So I thank you again, sir, Honourable Speaker. They have nothing else to do. They have nothing else to do. That's their strategy, to distract and disrupt the proceedings in this House, and we will ensure we do the people's business in this House. So therefore, when we come to Mr. Guevara, you have read his resume, our colleague read the resume, and therefore all we can say is that I, together with my team, we have agreed we will not subvert the merit list. We will not subvert the recommendation of the Police Service Commission. And if we've done our research, and we have no reason to doubt that this is a good nominee, and therefore the government will support the notification as recommended. But I say this further, before I close, Mr. Speaker. I want to say the nominations before us. I want us to remember October 16, 2021, when the then government revealed that the chairman, he went to the Honourable then Prime Minister, going to the Police Service Commission, saying they had lost all confidence in the then Commissioner of Police. I want to thank those who have served before, the Commissioners of Police, because there was a process, I say, that was subverted. If they were not able to function, let us trust that, given precedence to the law and the legal process in this business, that Mr. Guevara will conduct himself with all due integrity. We have no reason to doubt that it would be otherwise, and therefore we give full support to Mr. Guevara as the next Commissioner of Police of Trinidad and Tobago.
Member for Port of Spain South.